Hello, everyone. I just say this, and I hope that you go and watch Ziggy's live because I went and getting this information as well. Since the person who had written about this had given people permission to get the word out, she does not want interviews. So, out of respect, I will be trying to refrain from sharing her name. I hope I can do that without any kind of violating her privacy. So, in Matthew 18, verse 10, take heed that ye despise not one of these little ones. For saying to you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father which is in heaven. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Statute, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you, and I hope everyone's having a great day. There are a lot of different lives going on, and I feel like I needed to get this out there because we had permission to be able to get the story out there. The lady, as I said, does not want anyone to try to interview her. She is tired of the cover up of Burem Church in Rogersville, Tennessee. I will go over here too, because this is their main page that is officially, which it's private, and just to let people have a look, I will present the page so that you can see. I go back in here. Make sure to have it. This is their official page, Durham Missionary Baptist Church. This is where you'll see in a few minutes where Shayla Bannon is with Dana Nicole Ward and two others at Burem Church in Rogersville, Tennessee. Y'all recognize Rogersville, Tennessee? That's where little Summer Wells was missing. She's been missing for 2 years. According to, you can follow Ziggy, and she got more information about this at her website, her YouTube channel. So please follow her, like, subscribe to her as well. But Jonathan Lee Richards had put this out a while back. Said, welcome to Burem Missionary Baptist Church. And this person said, I don't want to say, I tried to tell you, all of you, about 6 months ago, how corrupt this church is. But, Summer Wells, there's Burem Church, Ronnie Lawson, Brandon Lawson, Summer Wells. So this brave lady is getting the information out about what happened to her at your church. She says that she does not want to be interviewed, so everyone please leave her alone. Respect her privacy. This is written June the 9th, 2022. And this is very important to get the word out. The Burem Church in Rogersville, Tennessee, where Brandon Lawson was affiliated with Ronnie Lawson affiliated with, Trent, Stephen Trent. I will go ahead and thank you for coming. Who's all here? Please hit the like, subscribe to this lady. Is She's very brave. Thank you for getting this out there and for giving us permission to be able to do this on our podcast and to share this. We will respect your privacy, and I will not try to get in touch with you to interview you. If you ever want to come and be interviewed, I will be glad to interview you. But until then, thank you so much for you getting the story out there. This is her story. So I'm 27 now, and this, put in mind, this is June the 9th, 2022, in Rogersville, Tennessee. So I'm 27 now, and I've been away from Rogersville for 3.5 years now. And I'm so tired of being silent about how toxic the church community is there. When I was 14 or 15, I went to Burem Church. The young youth pastor's name was Stephen Trent. Well, back then, I had a lot of issues making friends, and I really looked up to Stephen. I did not know at that time our friendship was him actually grooming me. I did not realize this till much later in life. It's really hard to talk about because when I got older, I felt so stupid and betrayed. It's not your fault, girl. It's not your fault. But I'm going to talk about it now. Excuse me. I started to attend the church, and over time, we grew close. He'd take me to Sonic for ice cream and buy me nice clothes. Later on, it escalated to hand holding and awkwardly long hugs. It got very weird when me and some other of my friends went over to his house and he showed us his studio, a studio that was filled with adult photos of his wife hanging all over the walls. Now, of course, don't get me wrong. I don't have a problem with a woman taking sexy photos of herself, but it's like he wanted us to see it, like he was showing off. It was really weird. Fast forward a little, but I noticed him kissing very young girls that were my age and younger. The girls that would follow him, he called his little wives. How sick is that, y'all? That preacher, youth preacher, to see how old did she see when she was 14 or 15-year old, that he was kissing young girls that were her age and younger. The girls that would follow him, he called his little wives. My mother noticed this odd relationship dynamic and pulled me out of that church as fast as she could. Before I left, his wife, Kim Trent, saw we were hanging out, and came to me after church yelling and screaming at me about I should never be sleeping with her husband. I was shocked and confused as I never thought about sex at that age. I was 15 at the time and was never interested in sex, so I was very hurt and confused. She called me a slut in front of everybody. Thankfully, the church was letting out, so there wasn't many people there. But there were still people who saw. People saw girls with Stephen. People saw what was happening and did nothing. Did nothing, man. And he was a married man. And he was taking these kids to his home and kissing them. They just swept it under the rug like they do with everything. I will not be sharing names of the girls involved, but I wanted to share my story. Rogersville is a quiet town, but with it being so quiet, there are many secrets. If I tag you, it's just to get this out as many people in that area as possible. But like I said, follow Ziggy. You get a lot more of the story behind it. And Shayla Bannon, thank you so much for doing this. You are a positive role model in our eyes. We will respect you. As I said, we will not try to um, get with you. We will not try to interview you. And as I said before, Burem Missionary Baptist Church, where Brandon Lawson was affiliated with preaching there as well. Brandon Lawson is the sex offender. That is the Sheriff Ronnie Lawson's son. in Rogersville, Tennessee, and there is little Summer Wells all caught up. And you think that I really don't believe Ronnie Lawson will protect her now. I really don't. All this is kind of hopeless for me for him to do something. Somebody needs to step in there and do something about this. This is pathetic. Said I made this post to share and post it as a wish. I'm not looking for attention for for an interview right now. Out of respect for the situation, but if anybody uses this post in any way, podcast, news, articles, etc., I give permission. So with that permission being granted, I'm going ahead, and that's why I'm sharing it. Her story is very important. Here's what she started off the post of saying, okay? I wasn't going to post about this because I wanted to give it more time. But watching everyone call this man a good man really hurts. And I just need to get this off my chest. I think Trent had died. I've not talked about my groomer in a year because of countless harassment and countless messages from local newspapers. It was too much for my mental health at the time. But because of recent events, I feel the need to say something. I'm also taking a big risk in making this public, but it had to be shared and it has to be said. Stephen Trent from Burem Church was a groomer. He groomed multiple girls over his life, and I was one of them. I just got there telling the story, so rewind back to the further so that you'll be able to see it. Thankfully, it did not escalate with me, but it did with the other girls. I'm so tired of seeing everybody praise him for being such a good man when he wasn't. I feel awful that his children lost a father, all because the system hid what he did instead of holding him accountable. He unalived himself because of his own guilt. He did away, he took his own life because of his guilt. And this could have been prevented if the system held him accountable and put him in jail so the girls didn't have to lose their father. Unfortunately, the church cares more about looking perfect for the cameras than actually helping people. Only hope this serves to be a lesson to you all, and I know his girls are going to be upset at me and will maybe think I pushed him to take his life. But please, girls, I encourage you to blame the system rather than blaming the victims, and hopefully you'll be able to help change the system for the better. I couldn't have said it better myself. For everyone, I wanted to get this out, get the word out, what's been going on in Hawkins County. Another big cover up that they were doing with one of the local churches there, and probably with many of the other churches as well. Because we know what's been going on also around Franklin with Gracie Solomon and Grant Solomon and them covered for that church as well. And Grant Solomon losing his life. Let's keep the stories going. Let's be strong. We cannot just stand back and idly just keep letting this thing happen. She said, please get the word out because we need to speak out about this. We need to do something about it. We need to not remain silent. Thank you, and God bless each and every one of you, and thanks for coming.